You've reached call in Mockery.
Hello. Welcome. I'm Joey. I'm London. And this is Colin Mockery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Colin Mockery for another week.
Yes, this is the show where we talk about... What? Is that really what I sound like to you?
Yeah, let's play it back. Listen.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, and this is the show where we talk about...
See?
That's what I sound like? Play that back.
That's what I sound like.
I shan't even speak.
Have you
another
never
word.
listened to the podcast just to check in and
Oh my
make
God.
sure?
I can't. It's so embarrassing.
Because you sound like that?
Because I'm laughing so hard. Are you laughing at yourself in there again?
Yeah, then you see.
Lights out. And I'm like, we are listening to the episode where I talk about lights out.
I didn't like it too much.
Maybe that's what it was, where something had a strobe light. And the way they shot it, you know it's not just the screen going dark and off and on and on. It's actually strobing, and it's a party scene.
Humba.
And you're like, how'd they shoot? I mean, I would be
Maybe
so
it was Gladiator.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because they go to a sex den. And he's like, welcome to the den, brother.
Like,
We invented electricity for the room.
no. Give me 4 of your Violent Maidens.
We don't have that in, but come into this room.
Okay.
It's only some scenes.
Yeah, gotcha.
You can't understand them. If you don't know what that reference is, go back to next week before we put it behind the paywall.
Go back to last week, not next week. What the hell's wrong
This
with
is
you?
why I can't listen to the show. It is so funny. Go ahead and fix that for the camp. Ow!
Joey, it's another week, and of course we have a brand new sponsor.
Hello, and thank you for sponsoring this week's episode.
Thank you to our friends at Liquid Death. They're a little startup, and we hope to help them out. They do flavored like water in a can, and it's actually very cool that it's a bit more environmentally friendly.
Agave nectar, B vitamins.
Typically, it's a lot more expensive than just regular water, but we, of course, got the stuff for free.
Yeah.
So sorry, suckers, but no, really, they're very kind. I have a new holiday flavor. This one's actually called Unparleavable.
It's a little secret. If you want to get something for free, start the company yourself. The next best thing, get them to sponsor you.
Yeah. Next best thing, start a podcast because it's so easy a caveman could do it. Then get someone to sponsor you.
Speaking of, I sent someone a message from last week. Last week we sent them a message to ask a question. Still no answer, so we'll get an update on that soon.
I hope so.
What's that flavor? You said it tastes like pear?
Well, no, it's Unparleavable. It does taste like pear, though.
Oh.
Say, what's yours? You got the other flavor, didn't you?
It tastes like convicted melon. What the hell?
Oh my. You know what's crazy? We didn't even open them.
Now we did. Well, it's another week, and we're ready to talk. We're getting close to the holiday season.
But grow. Bro, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Bro.
What's
your favorite saying? Do you like send it or let's go more?
I like let's go.
I like send it. Jump off a cliff or whatever.
Well,
what if that was your last words? You ever know, when someone jumps into like a river from a bridge and like, send it. His last words were send it.
Send it. And like to who?
Mm-hmm. People in the future aren't even going to understand.
That's what's so crazy that people don't think about that.
Send It. But who's he sending it to? And then Whoopi Goldberg comes in, or whoever's on the Star Trek plane that week. Like, it's actually a phrase that idiots used to say.
Idiots and fools.
That's why we blew Earth up.
And that's why we've colonized Mars.
Dark Maga, y'all. When he did that on SNL, the person with whom which I live was watching it with me, and she was like, he's just doing Biden, but a little different. I was like, well, that's kind of his thing.
Carvey?
Yeah. It's not about the impression. It's about the energy with which he gives it.
Yes.
I was like, you don't understand.
You don't
And she's like,
understand.
so you like this? And I went, no.
No.
I like that he's kind of cross-eyed and...
I like anything that's making someone mad.
Yes.
Making someone I don't like mad. If it makes someone I do like mad, then I don't like it. Ergo, I am a heightened being.
Yes. If you...
Sorry, bean.
Yeah.
I am
You're
a
up on,
heightened
you up on
being.
that beanstalk, bro.
I'm a heightened bean, and I'm here to say I'm up on my beanstalk.
You're giving heightened bean energy. I'm thinking about turning your bones into bread and etc.
You ever read Orson Scott Card's Ender's Game?
I've heard that he's kind of a bad guy. So
Ender, he's just a little boy. He didn't know
He was committing genocide on behalf of the people that he's playing the video game for.
no, Mr. Card. Mr. Card is actually a bad guy. He's sort of the Chick-fil-A of authors.
No, I just spoiled one of the greatest science fiction books of all time.
Oh, he's playing the video game. Is that what you said? The whole time.
You ever read that book though?
I never read it, but I do know.
Fool.
I'm just playing a game, and he goes, no, you silly bastard. It was never just a... It was never just a... Can we take that again? No, you silly bastard. It was never just a game. A PlayStation game, a GameCube game. Blah. You're committing genocide. You're killing a real race of humans.
No. Well, they're not humans,
But
but
then, of course, Mr. Scott Card in real life was like, if you're gay, you ain't going my way.
yeah.
And you're like, hey, you
come
can't
on,
do
I
a book
thought-
about the thing, and then you're actually a different way. Who are you? A notorious turf?
Who are you? Every single other person on Earth is a hypocrite.
But that actually makes you a heightened being.
Well, yes.
To be a hypocrite in that way.
I'm a heightened being because I can point it out that I am.
That's actually not bad. That's not a bad way to look at stuff. I could see Russell Brand in the next week or two putting out, yes, I know I'm a hypocrite, and in so very so do saying such, it is in that in which I am set free.
Yeah.
And then people just commenting going like, send it. Let's go.
Amen.
Amen, Brand. So happy you have been saved and are smart now.
Yeah. He's just like,
Yeah. Raking in his cash.
raking in cash.
It's falling off his money tree. He's just out there raking it in.
Having the same demented sex parties that he was when he wasn't
Yeah.
saved. You know, all these people, they're all the same, of course.
Yeah. Except now he can post the photos of himself in his underwear and people like it.
Yeah, no,
Oh, he's baptizing people in the river. Made in God's image he is.
And he's like, you inside, you outside, you're ugly. Inside, get the lube. That's what he was doing. That's what Diddy did. Inside, you're beautiful. Outside, you're ugly. Get the lube.
yeah.
Isn't it crazy how much baby lube he has?
Oh, it's so funny. I think we should
So
talk
much
about
baby oil. Ha 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 ha. That he had those parties where they're all dressed in white.
And you know what? I don't think anyone else has talked about it.
I don't think so. Not yet.
I bet he had to go to like
This
Sam's
is coming out
Club.
like last week or so, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And at Sam's Club, they're probably like, what the heck? Okay, so he's getting drums of baby oil. And I bet at this point, Costco or whomever is going to have to come out and be like, we don't sell baby oil. What the skibbity?
Can you imagine? And then Big Justice and AJ are at Costco and they're like, "Whip me the boom." We're Costco guys. We buy tubs and tubs of baby oil.
Actually, if you go back to the third video they ever posted, this is so crazy. Whoa. It's the first time that they are judging the double chocolate chip cookie. Big Justice is taking a bite of it to be like father, like son. And he's taking a bite of it. In the background, you see Diddy and one of his handlers with a cart full of baby oil.
It's crazy. I think they actually have taken the video down now, but it's true.
Mm-hmm. We were not at those parties. Those parties are doom. Did you see the new one where he tries a triple chocolate chunk cookie and his
triple chocolate chunk cookie?
You already know what I'm gonna freaking say. You're a vegetable.
No, I didn't see it.
Sorry, I was still smiling. But what I said back there, I didn't mean it. He's more than a vegetable.
You're not just a vegetable.
He's Big Justice's dad. And I don't know which is worse.
Joey, what else? Did you do anything this week?
Did I send you the it's a picture of Riz, Big Justice, and AJ, thank you.
The dad is AJ.
Yes.
The boy is Big Justice.
But they're all standing together because they're talking about he's trying to decide if a Nerf gun or a chocolate chip cookie is more boom or doom. Mm-hmm. And someone said they look like Pokemon evolution.
And hey, guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, that's good. You shouldn't. And we shouldn't know either.
In fact, it's because of this guy right here that I've got this brain rot.
I'm just glad that, I can put away this trash TV that I'm watching and this trash internet stuff that I'm consuming. And I can just put away all my depraved behaviors and let go and let God.
Yeah. So, sorry, Mr. Brand, yes. Oh, Mr. Brand, what you've said back there.
That's the right reaction.
Thank you.
Did you watch anything?
What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Steven? Wait, I've got an idea. Ding. Ding, 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 ding. Or how about this? Dum, dum. Dum, dum. Dum, 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 dum.
It's brilliant.
Well, that's not what he thought.
Can I take that again?
Yeah. Dum, dum.
It's brilliant.
Well, that's not what he said the first time you ever heard it. And that's something you might learn from the John Williams documentary out now on Disney Plus. Yeah, he's like, "Oh, Stevie, my boy," and they like kiss. They keep kissing and hugging and holding hands.
That's
and stuff.
awesome.
And he's like, "This is my wife." It's something to see for 2.5 hours of them saying, "I'm married to this man," and you're like, "So what is this?" He goes, "I thought about the movie, and there's a shark, and to me it wasn't a horror movies, but I'm thinking, and I come to Mr. Stevie, and I say." And he goes, and I thought, Johnny, you's crazy for this. He's like, dum. And he's like, I didn't know what the hell you were doing. But it works. And then you get all the greats to come in. You get J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
You get like Mel Brooks. And then you get Seth MacFarlane. And it says, when they put up Seth MacFarlane, it says, I think they put up writer, singer. And I go, he's the Family Guy. Don't make it like you don't want to.
And he's a singer.
He's like, when I first heard John Williams, I was just a little boy in a marshmallow world.
He's a crooner. He's a crooner.
I don't know why they talked to him.
He's a crooner, Peter.
Peter, Seth MacFarlane's a crooner. Peter, did you see Seth MacFarlane on the evening news?
I didn't realize he was a crooner.
Well, you should have, old man.
Well, you should have, old man.
Well, old man. He's always calling him an old man. Peter, he's me. It's Brian.
Brian, yeah.
Sucks. This show sucks. But it's a good documentary.
I didn't know he was a crooner.
That almost reminds me of the time I was a crooner. It's a marshmallow world. Who was that? Who's behind him?
It's a little Peter doing harmonies. God.
How is it the 25th anniversary of Family Guy?
It is?
When I turn on Hulu, I see them do it. They're doing it's the big ass pumpkin Charlie Brown parody.
Them doing that?
But it's like for the 25th anniversary of Family Guy. I'm like, well, what the hell? Now there's like a Christmas episode for the 25th anniversary.
God.
There's no way. They must be counting the years that it was like canceled, right?
Yeah, they have to be.
Like, well, technically it's been 25 years.
Technically, it's been.
We've been here for 25 years. No one listening to this is enjoying this.
You could say that every week and it would be true, my friend.
They talk to Seth. They talk to JJ and he goes, you get into a room with him, which I'm sure is true. I mean, you ruined Star Wars. But he's like, you get into a room with him and he plays you. And he goes, oh, I hopefully you like this. Mm-hmm. And he plays the most incredible thing you've ever heard. And you go, yeah, but he wrote it for like The Rise of Skywalker, which is sad.
He just plays the thing. Like,
because it is the same stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, how many? That's like we were watching Gladiator last week.
We know
the person with whom I'm watching new information goes, "This sounds like the Pirates of the Caribbean music," and I was like, "Yeah, must be the same guy." Look it up. It's what's his face?
Yeah, who is that?
Mr. Tuba. Well, now he's Mr. Tuba. Now he's Mr. Nolan, right? He's like,
oh, right.
That's what he does now. Hans Gruber, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, Zimmerman.
Yeah,
like the chef.
We love Zimmermans around here, don't we?
Of course.
So he did do Gladiator.
Wow.
And then he did do Pirates of the Caribbean. And she goes, see if he did Lion King too, because this sounds like it's from Lion King. He did.
Yeah.
I go, these guys are all kind of. It's like when you're watching something, you're like, this is kind of like Home Alone.
Yeah.
I mean, because what are they? How many notes? It's still the same guy.
Yeah.
That did like 100 movies.
Yeah, and they all kind of fit. They are all his thing.
Yeah. And he goes, when I wrote that Hedwig song or whatever the hell the kids are calling this Harry Potter movie, he goes, that's the easiest thing I've ever done.
So
something funny. That when you first heard it in the theater, I was like, they're doing a movie of this.
Yeah.
And you're like, and it sounds like the book sounds.
Yeah, it really does capture it perfectly.
But he's like, it's just do 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 do.
Oh, yeah, when you put it like that.
Hey, asshole, you're the one that did it.
And they eat it up like children.
I was writing it for 2-year-olds. What do you want from me?
do Potter.
It's his name's in the song. Think about it.
If you look at the lyrics, his name is in the song.
Stephen King's like, oh, Johnny.
Stephen King? What's he doing there?
When I first heard him talking about the music, I thought I could do that too, but I can't.
He tried.
He tried, but he couldn't do it.
But yeah, all in all, it's a good documentary.
Yeah, I'll gotta check that out. Yeah.
And it's sad, but it's sweet. And he's like, I can't believe I'm still doing it after all these. And it is like 2.5 hours long.
Well, it needs to be.
But he's
'cause
done so many freaking
Yeah.
movies, and he's like, my father was a musician, and his father before him was a musician. And then I thought, I'll be a musician. It's just like everything seems easy back then, where he's like, I needed a job.
So
And I
became
knew
a
that
musician.
the talkies, because he's he's like,
Yeah.
I knew the talkies needed music. And so he's just like, I went to play at Universal because they needed a guy.
Sure.
If you did that now, you'd be shot on sight.
Yeah, you can't just go there.
If you went to Universal,
Do you need a piano player? Could I play the piano for you, sir? Can you play the piano for you, please, Mr. J?
and he's like,
We got a 647 on the front lot.
we got a little Harley Quinn out here.
Get 'em.
Or it's whatever studio from the new Seth Rogen show.
Yeah. They're like,
We want to make bad movies.
Yeah.
Bad movies.
We don't make movies here. We make movies.
Okay.
I'll be checking it out, but it is with an eyebrow cocked, you know? So you're like, oh, a studio's making a show about how studios are bad.
There's always a bit of that, isn't there?
Yeah, let me just call the pot black when I'm a kettle.
That's crazy.
Well, it's the Barbie thing, isn't it? Mattel is like, you can make fun of us a little bit, and we'll be in on the joke, but also
Reaping all the benefits.
anyway.
I always remember on The Apprentice when someone said that's the pot calling the kettle black, and there was an there was a screaming match about that's racist.
On The Apprentice?
Yes. Someone goes, that's the pot calling that. This was people that were begging for Donald Trump's approval.
Yeah.
This was like 20 years ago. I don't know why. I just remember this because they're like, someone's like, you cannot say that. That's racist. And someone keeps going, a pot is black. A kettle's black.
La 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 la.
And I was like, what's going on? I was like, Mommy, what's going on? And she's like, you little racist to me. Go to your room.
You see that man up there at the head of the table? Someday you're going to lick his boots. He's going to be your president and you're going to be his little boot licker.
Okay. And
There's
he's
going
like,
to be 100,000 people at an arena, and he's going to say, Hillary Clinton, you're fired. And they're all going to laugh and cheer.
Like, Mommy, you're scaring me. Go to your room.
You're fired.
And then the curtain goes up, and then I see a moon in the back. And I look in the moon, and Ed Harris is in there. He's like, this has all been for people on the TV. I'm just like, what? I'm like, you're the Apprentice. Oh, I literally cannot believe this. By the way, what happened with that movie? The Apprentice? Sebastian?
yeah, it came out and
like,
everyone was
I'm Trump now. I'm going to make fun of the guy, and it's going to help us win because we all know he's
Crazy. If you don't like him, you're not seeing them. Or if you like him, you're not seeing the movie.
right. And if you don't like him, you don't want to see anyone talking about him.
Right.
We're
so
done
why
with
would
it.
you go see I'm tired of it. I know he's done the stuff. I don't need to kind of see a guy kind of do an impression kind of him.
By the way, remember, we're the ones that know about him. The people who need to see the movie don't believe the stuff that happens in the movie already. They're not going to believe it when the Hollywood elite are saying it.
That's my thing with
They
SNL
won't
too.
believe it when the news says it. They won't believe it when the people around him say it. They won't believe it when his ex-wife accuses him of it. If you know what I'm talking
So
about.
why are they going to go watch a woke? The yoke,
Which is funny because that thing about The Apprentice, that seems woke. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Just makes you think that Donald Trump was actually woke before.
Well, he wasn't in the room when that happened. It was like Omarosa and like Squeeter, and there's like Dinklehunch.
Yeah. Well, and of course, we even know from that show, he was racist.
Yeah, we do. They talk about it, but no one cares.
Yeah.
Well, because they like that. But they do get him in a room. You know, they all sit around the table. And he's like, Ivana tells me that there was a little fight going on. Isn't that true, Ivana? Because she was on the show.
Wow.
She sat next to him as like, he's like, this is my little apprentice. Isn't that interesting? And so he's like, they all told me you're calling
Got going the cock the pot and the kettle and the
calling the kettle black, Daddy.
Ivana Tinkle.
Can I tell you about something I watched?
iWatch, iPod, iPad. I mean, do you ever get sick of all this pop, 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 just
Great.
rubbing your finger on the glass slab?
Late stage Carlin strikes again.
iWatch, iPad. I mean, did we ever see the monolith, Unilith,
Unilever.
we no lift, I don't lift. Hey, hey.
Unilever soap brand owns
Half the world's product. Nabisco owns what'd you watch?
Anyone could do it. Anyone could do it, and you're acting like you're special.
If Carlin was alive now, I would. I always thought of this.
Yeah.
Every night before I go to bed, I was like, I would love to go to a show with Landon to see Carlin, because he would get up and he'd walk up to that stage. He'd be like, "You think you're so special?"
Not so much him, but every comedian.
Yeah. You think you.
Yeah.
Why, we're here listening to you. Why? And you say, better make it good. But that lets them know, like, yeah, it is important. You paid you paid for a babysitter. You don't have kids, but you paid for a babysitter.
Yeah. That's weird.
What'd you watch?
There is a documentary.
Oh, great. Another documentary. Here I was thinking, aren't I the enlightened one?
No, this one is Slop.
Freakonomics. Oh, Slop.
No, this is called. It's over on Peacock.
It's called Slop.
It's called Anatomy of a Lie, or Anatomy of Lies. I think.
Well, now I don't know if you're telling the truth or not. Ho 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 ho.
Oompa loompa. Do you know anything about the story of Anatomy of Lies? Jesus.
Oh, no.
This is a little 3-part documentary. Very interesting, very compelling stuff.
Does it now?
Not in the way that's like, oh, this is important.
Right.
It basically doesn't matter. But it is just interesting to see how insane people are. This is about a TV writer. She wrote for Grey's Anatomy. Her name, Elizabeth Finch, known to many as Finchie.
Okay.
And she went out to Hollywood to be a TV writer, was on Vampire Diaries, True Blood. She really wanted to write for Grey's Anatomy. And then she got cancer.
Yes. Okay. Now I know the story.
You do?
I know about this.
Yes.
I forgot they did a documentary about it.
I think it just came out pretty recently. It's very good. I won't spoil too much, but you can tell from the title, maybe she's lying about something.
Yes. Maybe a pretty big something.
And not just that, but everything that she just compounds lies on top of lies.
She's like a compulsive
Yeah. But it is just fascinating.
liar. You didn't let me finish.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, liar. It's fascinating.
What did you call me?
To watch. But the most fascinating thing is because they're talking to other writers that were in the room. We're like, we just kept thinking, like, how can all of this bad stuff keep happening to her? She's so nice. She's so awesome. And she just keeps coming in with all these tragic things happening to her. This happened, this. You just feel so bad because we're a family. You know, you're in a writer's room 20 hours a day and these are people you care about. But then you can also kind of tell at least one of them is like never liked her.
Do you think that would be us? Be honest. Do you think we'd be the people that were like, we called it, we knew it?
I said before we
She's a liar.
before we even got to the lying stuff, I was like, I don't like her. Like, I would immediately not like her.
And this was before you knew she was a liar?
Yep. Like, even if some of this stuff was real, I'd be like, I still just because she's using it.
Yeah,
she's using it. It's tragic, of course, if someone has all of these things happen to them.
Right.
But to continually like she would email us, send out an email. I have to go. This mass shooting happened, and I have to go help clean my friends' bodies.
Oh my God.
And just stuff like that. We're like, why are you telling all of us this? One, that didn't happen. I mean, obviously you're lying.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's the type of person that I feel like I immediately recognize in everyday life when I'm like, oh, you're not a good person. I don't care what bad stuff has happened to you. I can tell you're not a good person. And I might be wrong sometimes, but I've never been wrong before.
Okay. Decipher what the hell.
I've never been wrong about it. Every single time I've had that feeling, I've been validated.
Because then you kind of ask, if someone else, you get their trust and you go, hey, am I crazy? Or
Yeah, no,
and then they're like, yeah,
No,
they're
no,
full
no.
of it.
Yeah, they're full of it.
And then you find out they are.
Yeah.
Where everything they talk about is...
I just have to hedge my bets a little and say, maybe I could be wrong, but I'm not.
Because there's the circumstance of like, I have to explain to someone in this situation, maybe of like, yeah, if you have cancer or whatever, like you do need to let people know. But it's when people are like, okay, well, they're obviously using this to get sympathy all the time.
Yeah.
Even if it is real, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, but it's like they're wanting to make it everyone else's problem or constantly think about like, well, I know your life might be good, but
Yeah. And you can tell there's one specific person in it that you can tell she was so happy after like 10 plus years of this person. It is malicious to do that to people, to lie like that, but just like, it doesn't actually really affect you except just like, why would you do that's insane.
But isn't that, it's probably different when it's like someone you're in a relationship with.
Yeah.
And you go like, well, you manipulate it. Like,
Well, yeah.
There's something there that's like, that should be illegal.
Yeah. There is an
But
element
it's just
of
like,
that as
yeah,
well.
but if it's like people you work with,
Yeah.
where it's sort of just like, that's psychotic.
Well, and
Or like,
and she was kind of getting.
I was going to ask that, like, there are people that have been caught saying like, I got my car, whatever. Like they set up a GoFundMe or something.
Yeah.
Because there is that, you're kind of going off of good faith that this person did have this happen to them.
Yeah.
And you find people that were like, no, they got $30,000 from strangers and
For nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there is an element because she kind of gets Grey's Anatomy because she has cancer, and then she kind of.
Doesn't that become a storyline sort of on the show? Or like they
Yeah.
pull.
Yeah. Well, then she kind of becomes like the face of the writing staff because she writes. Well, she kind of. Will you ever watch it?
Yeah, but like I said,
You kind of know the story.
yeah. I read
She kind of takes other people's stories and then writes them as if she came up with them on the show. And then she does like interviews where she's like, yeah, this happened to me. So I just bring my life, this sort of holier than thou sort of like kind of, well, I guess it wasn't on here, but we were talking about like, yeah, I don't know. It just kind of came to me like, I just write about people, this is just the truth. It's my truth. But all that sort of flowery bullshit language that I hate anyway. So that's what I mean. Like this person, I would already not be able to work with every day.
And then the fact that it's all a
lie, but you can tell it's a lie. That's what I'm just sitting there watching it. Like, I know this person is lying.
That is wild with a lot of these documentaries where it's like, obviously with hindsight now,
Yeah.
but some of the footage, I'm like, there's like, man, these other writers or whatever, they have to be the most like caring, good-hearted people to just be like taking everything at face value.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this person is a monster.
Yeah.
And it's clear they're lying about whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And she keeps on lying and lying. She keeps getting like accolades and recognition in the industry. So there is that element, I guess, of like the other writers like, well, that could have been me. You took my idea, but or my story, made it your own, got recognition for it. Just stuff like that. But it's pretty crazy. And then she does have a relationship that person eventually finds out and kind of breaks the whole thing wide open. And
yeah, I gotta check this out.
check it out. It's pretty interesting. I think she is trying to make a little bit of a comeback now, though. So hopefully we can get her on the show. and
I'd
talk
love to have her on.
We could ask her.
That does seem like someone that would easily just because people have no brain anymore, where it's like, well, yeah, she did that, but because now that she's on there, you know,
She was a heck of a writer.
but she's doing it for good now.
But even like the email excerpts that they were showing of like, hey, all, but, you know, just the way
It was written.
it was written, I was like, it just makes my skin crawl. And it's not even because I know she's a liar. It's because I hate when people write like that.
But when he,
Because it's phony.
but some would
Hey,
say that
all.
she's the ultimate writer.
She wrote her own life like it was an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
And wrote it into the show like it was an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
She
Hey,
might
all.
be a genius.
I say,
Check it out. It's pretty good.
hi everyone.
Nowadays, I just start. I don't even say hi
Yeah.
anymore.
Sometimes I'll just say, hey, I'm not coming in today. Peace.
Yeah.
I want to check that out. I really do.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And like I say, does it really... Well, there is an element, too, of where you're like, so everyone just believed this person.
But the outcome is sort of like, it's not illegal.
It's not
So it's
illegal
just sort of like,
to lie and manipulate. In fact, some
Crazy.
people are awarded the highest of all accolade and power if you lie and manipulate your entire life. And people know you are doing it, and then you still just keep doing it.
right.
And then you're never held accountable.
No, you're in fact rewarded for it.
Yeah.
So
So I guess who am I to even be talking about it, you know?
yeah, you're nobody.
None of us are, and nothing matters.
You know what? That reminds me of something else.
Great. Take us out on a high note.
Okay, we should stop the show right there because that is just...
No.
That's the type of stuff that people go, that's why I listen to this show.
The first 35 minutes.
But speaking of lying to the public about something that you did or didn't do,
Okay.
can I talk about how I watched the Blair Witch Project? The original. I watched it again. You did? With fresh eyes after so many years.
Say it ain't so, Joey.
It is. But as we know, the story behind it is quite interesting indeed, huh? That
How interesting is it?
not. But these three people that went out to the woods,
Yes.
we found their tape. Now, when I was a kid, take me back. You remember when you were a kid? Nary a hair on the chest because you nared it all off. You're like, not yet.
I can't.
I can't be the only kid on the soccer field with
Pubes.
Yeah. So
Shirts and skins. They're
But
going to see all my pubes.
I remember as a kid, I'm thinking, okay, I've taken care of my pubis. I'm going to go to Mr. Movies. You see the movie on the shelf, the little VHS box that says, in 19 ding, 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 3 people went out into the woods to film something. They never returned. We found their tape. Here it is.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's no way for me to know if that's, I am the idiot working at Grey's Anatomy going, okay, some people disappeared and it's called the witch and now they, so I'm scared, right?
Yeah.
And then you sort of find out because you get dial up. You look it up and it's sort of like, I guess maybe it's fake or whatever.
Yeah.
Now we know it is.
What?
So well, we know it's fake that the internet is real.
Yeah.
But the first time I watched it, or
Yeah, you were scared.
a while ago, I was just like,
you were pooping your little diaper, weren't you?
yeah. It was maybe it was a little boring for what I thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Now rewatched it because I was like, I need to. It keeps coming up. People keep putting it back in theaters. I do like it. After watching it this time, it is like, oh yeah, if I don't go in thinking this is going to be some scary, gory, it's like the atmosphere of, and now thinking about like, yeah, they don't have phones. You are just lost in the woods. Yeah. And you just follow them through the whole thing. And then there are the scary, like they're just in the tent and it's pitch black and you just hear like really good sound. It's not like the sound design that sometimes I don't know if movies are doing stuff the right way where it's like, oh, they hear a sound outside, but it's clearly something that's been recorded and then like dubbed in, just sort of in. Yeah. But in this, it's like you hear them in a tent and out in the woods. Yeah. You hear like, like just in his sounds, it's like, oh God, this is creepy. And then they just sort of disappear. Yeah. And there's just this feeling of all of it. Now, some of the acting is a little annoying if you know it's fake. Yeah. Even at the time, I would probably be in that camp of like, this can't be real. They're really doing this. But they do it. It really is the best use after seeing so many terrible found footage movies now where every 5 seconds they have to re-up their promise as to why they are keeping the camera on. Are you still recording? You got to keep that thing on. Yeah. Just for whatever reason, like grab the camera, make sure you got the camera. There is like a little bit of that where at one point they're like, stop recording. She's like, it's all I have. Right. You know, like, right. No. Other than that, it all makes sense. And then the ending.
That's good.
They find this house. It's the creepiest house out there. Yeah. But I do wish.
Because there's a bunch of houses, but they find the creepiest house.
Like in the world?
Out there, yeah.
Or in the woods. Oh, yeah. They pass a house. I think it's like every 5 minutes in the movie. Yeah. There's a house with like a family.
Yeah. But they find the creepiest house and go in.
Yes. So they get to the last one. Because one of them goes, this is the last house.
And look.
In the woods.
It's on the left.
And they go
in the woods. Do you think they've done like a parody? We should do that. The last house on the left in the woods.
Yeah. Like the 40-year-old virgin that went into the last house on the left in the woods and felt super bad about it.
Yeah. .com.
That's the fear.com part of the title. Yeah. But it's
no, they go into the
pretty good.
The creepy house. Go ahead.
Guys in there. But pretty good. But I just wish it's one of those things where I wish I could watch it while they were still lying to us. Yeah. Where you thought
to be in on the ground floor.
Like have I ever told you about this where I was watching the Truman Show for the first time? I was like 7 or maybe younger. Yeah. And I'm sort of, it's giving me a feeling that I don't understand yet to be like an existential crisis. Sure. Of like this whole guy's life is a lie. Yeah. That he doesn't. And I asked my mom, she will probably say this didn't happen.
Of course.
But I said, did this happen to him? And I don't know if she thought I meant in the movie, like, is this real? Like this is happening? Right. I was talking about, is this why we know Jim Carrey today? Like, is this why he's in? Because in my head, I'm like, this is, and she goes, Truman. Yeah. She goes, yeah.
Yeah, it happened.
Not sorry, but she was like, yeah, this happened. Yeah. So I'm like, this is why Jim Carrey's an actor, because someone told him he's Truman. And so I like would I'd like look up at the moon at night and I'd be like, my whole life could be made up. Yeah. Like you look at your neighbors, it's like the paranoia of they're following me. Mm-hmm. But I'm like 7.
They could be filming.
And I did ask her, like, I was like, you told me it was real. And she goes, no, I didn't. Like, why would I? Are you the stupidest kid in the world? Yeah. But I don't know if it's just the way I asked, where I was like, she must have thought.
She probably thought, yeah, you meant like, is this really what the movie's doing?
Yeah.
Like,
and whatever question a kid asks 100 a day. And she was like, yeah, like that's the movie. Yeah. But I took it to mean, yes, so I was like,
Jim Carrey is Truman.
So the way I watched that movie was insane.
Sure.
Because I became insane.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is a real, like they named a version of whatever psychosis that is, like paranoia after the Truman Show, because I think that unlocked that feeling for a lot of people.
Because it's a scary fear. And I thought that lady was still like, I thought when he says bye to her, and I was like, so she's still like, she loves him. It was just such a weird. I was like, all those people lied to this man.
Yeah.
I'm so dumb.
No, I still think like I catch people sometimes, and I'm like why did they say that way? I'm still in a little bit of, there's like a 1% chance that you guys are all fake.
I think because sometimes it'll be like, that is like the third white car that's been parked outside our house, and someone's like, what are you talking? Like, what? I'm like, well, of course you'd say that.
Yeah.
Feign surprise.
Yeah.
The government drives white cars or what?
Well, sometimes the woman with whom I live will like say something that I know is the opposite.
Yeah. And you're like,
and I'm like, and I mean, she can tell you, I will literally say, why'd you just say that? Are you an actor? I'm onto you. I know that this is all fake. I know you're faking. It's okay because I like the delusion. I'm in the Matrix. I don't want to be outside being sad.
You say, and you're like, what? Why are you like, you're acting like what I just asked doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to remember what to say.
Yeah.
I think I did have that when I was younger too. There was 3 or 4 black cars for no reason, all lined up at like, and we just lived on a street, you know?
Yeah.
And they were just for some reason parked in front of our house.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Mom, someone's like fixing a cable because like the camera in the mirror isn't working. I was like, why are all those cars out there? And she's probably like, there's not 4 black cars. You know, you're like, yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Then you go look and they're all speeding away.
So it would have been cool to see the Blair Witch Project that way.
Yeah. But hey, Laura Linney is in that, right? Truman Show.
Yeah.
One of the new girls on SNL looks like Laura Linney.
That's where I've seen her before.
Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.